Waja, going down Genting Highlands, rolling around in third gear, and these are just approaching rumble strips and a speed bump which has forced me to brake hard, downshift to second and go on. Alright, so going down Genting Highlands, right, there are a lot of rumble strips, a lot of speed bumps, and rumble strips and speed bumps are commonly used to slow cars down in areas where where you want cars to go slow. Okay, and coming down Genting Highlands, plenty of these. But as much as the intention of these are for a noble purpose, I want to offer the point that they are actually counterproductive to safety. The correct way of descending a hill, use the lower gears, okay, then that gives you engine braking, that allows you better control of your speed as you roll down. So it prevents the car from accelerating too quickly. Okay, so what you do is you just put in the lower gear, leave your foot off the accelerator, and the car will just roll down, whilst with its speed limited by the engine's RPM. That approach, all right, has the effect of not needing you to overutilize your brakes, because what happens is that when you apply your brakes, they are converting your vehicle's kinetic energy to heat that is then dispersed into air, all right, that flows past your brakes. But you see, the thing is that when you convert kinetic energy to heat, the heat also goes back into the brake pads and goes back into your brake fluids. And that is why, after prolonged hard braking, we have cases where you have brake fade, which is when your brake pads have overheated beyond their normal operating temperature. You also get cases where the overheating is so bad that your brake fluids boil and create air bubbles in your brake circuit, thus compromising your braking. So what happens when you put speed bumps and rumble strips on a downhill stretch? You force drivers to brake hard as you approach those bumps. Okay, and when you brake hard, you generate excess heat in the braking system, and that you actually contribute to a greater likelihood of that car losing control because its brakes overheated. Now, second thing, rumble strips. When you're driving over rumble strips, the rumble strip, because of the minute elevation change from the road surface, as well as the change in the surface roughness, it causes disruption in your grip. All right, and when it causes disruption in your tire grip, it affects your stability and cornering, and it also affects your effectiveness in braking. Right, so that is why I offer the point that rumble strips and speed bumps, when used downhill, they are actually counterproductive to safety, because you create unnecessary stress, additional and unnecessary stress in your vehicle's chassis systems. You see, the rumble strips and bumps are fine in parking lots where they are used to prevent cars from speeding up. But when you're trying to get cars to slow down, actually those things are not the best thing to use, because what you really need is actually for drivers to really know how to properly utilize engine braking when going down a slope. All right, that way you can descend safely, all right, without needing to over rely on your brakes, because your brakes are crucial to your safety. If your brakes overheat, your brake pads lose their effectiveness, your brake fluids lose their effectiveness, that is actually worse.